wasn't for comic books like Black Panther, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
The only thing I know recently that had the same impact is when Barack Obama ran for president.
It's a game changer in a way that I don't think we can even quantify.
Everyone was like, Wakanda forever, and it was just this amazing sense of community that this movie brought. It brought us together with no negativity.
It meant more to me because my children are able to see something like that.
It has re-energized the community.
Black Panther impacted our community as a whole and how we perceive our history, how we perceive our culture in terms of what it has been in the past. This film showed the foundation of royalty. It's something I have not seen before. And I was glad to see it because our children need to understand who we are and what we came from and how powerful we were as a people. So to see the film create that understanding and to see that film celebrated was very, very encouraging.
So if you don't know Christopher Priest, he was the first black editor in comics. He was the first black writer in comics. My career wouldn't even have happened without him. What he was able to do and bring to the character was so distinctive. He was able to work in the Don McGregor stuff with King Solomon's Frogs. He was able to put him on a par with Tony Stark, put him on a par with Captain America as a hero. Priest contributed so much to that mythos and in creating it, which is not to take anything away from McGregor, who did a lot of great work, or Stan and Jack, who initially had the Panther beat up the entire Fantastic Four, the first family of comics, in his first appearance. Each subsequent creator added so much to it, all the way down to Reginald Hudlin, who put the Black Panther on a world stage and really set him up as a media personality, someone that people really could get a grasp of.
Wakanda opens up a whole new realm of possibilities in terms of power, in terms of threats, in terms of technology.
Wakanda? Yes. Like, let's talk about a non-colonized, like, African state that is the most technically advanced, wealthiest nation on the planet. What?
I was excited to see their take on Afrofuturism. The way you saw that was just the designs, the architecture of the building, the ship that T'Challa flies around in. From the top, it almost looks like an African mask. And even just the communicators, holograms, things like that.
T'Challa's circle is filled with women, and his advisors are also women. The writers put women at the forefront. It's brilliant.
The world has seen this beautiful representation and depiction of black females, and it needs it.
But we've never seen them in this capacity, where they are the forefront of a kingdom.
I play out one of my dreams as queen, as someone.
The strength that we see in the women in Black Panther has emboldened women in a way that I don't think men are ready for.
They did it because they were truly good people and they want it to be that way.
You see something that you don't typically see afforded to black women, which is being able to just be themselves.
We've always known about ourselves, our power, our resilience, our decency was mirrored back to us in a major motion picture.
I don't think that I've resonated with so many black women at one time in the same movie ever.
Female leadership is very prominent. I love the idea of society with so much tradition and so much respect for women.
It was such a beautiful spotlight on black women and just how diverse they can be. We have warriors, we have scientists, we have these powerful, intelligent women, and yet they're not each other's competition. I felt like Ryan Coogler did that specifically because they make up Black Panther.
And that made the film more rich and it made for a more enjoyable film experience.
It was beautiful to see the portrayal of black women in this film, and particularly their strength and their sisterhood. That is a subliminal message for all of us, and I appreciated that.
My name is Philip Boutte Jr., and I am a costume illustrator concept artist. I work very closely with the costume designer. There's always a transition, I think, with every artist, especially artists of color. I was very young. My mother pulled me to the side and she said, you know, you don't draw a black character. And it was because I was drawing what I saw. That was, I think, a turning point for me. The comic book store is where you start. You have to start with the source material. Ultimately, I am there as a support network and a support system for the costume designer to get the ideas out and also to get the ideas sold.
My mother does not get excited about a lot of things. Bingo is one. But when it comes to movies, there's really not a lot of movies that she's like, we need to go see that. My mother asked to go see Black Panther.
My daughters are growing up strong no matter what. But this helps a great deal.
I would say it was really fun going with my family, having an experience with them, and seeing the movie that was really amazing and exciting.
We train these girls to be strong, to have their own mind. Seeing the images of these warriors, these women that were out there with their spears, they're fighting, they're protecting what they believe in, they're protecting their culture and their land. That's like the perfect image I want them to see.
My daughter is 7, and I think that made the hugest difference for me, and which is why I was so proud to work on a project that just showed, diversity on a grand scale.
There's a lot more movement right now toward having African American movies and films on your docket. We want to see our images and we want to see our stories told. You have to find people that know those stories.
I have been a Black actress in Hollywood for 18 years, professionally. I just shot a pilot where I'm the lead on the show for the first time.
I hope this is not treated like a fluke. Part of me is just like, I try to be very realistic, and I've seen stuff. So hopefully this has planted a flag.
I'm calling it the Wakanda effect because I'm all of a sudden taking all these meetings, and then literally after he hung up the phone, a publisher called me. And it was very weird to see it happening in real time.
As a female director who was Black, there's still not enough Black women who are directing or producing that are behind the camera. So I'm hoping that seeing that we look good on the screen, we look good behind the scenes, and that we can actually do something that makes dollars, that will present opportunities that hasn't been there so far.
The dollars that this movie made showed everyone that we are eminently watchable, that we are fierce and fabulous, and that we set trends.
And we proved that we're people that can sell a product, even though we're always told we won't sell overseas.
Which always frustrated me because action always is global and universal. I wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for that. I know, Brother Wesley Snipes knows, and anybody else knows that action travels.
So, how many times have you seen Black Panther?
6 times.
All 6?
6 times.
I've seen it 5 times.
Oh, okay.
What was so cool about Black Panther is that it was entertainment that people from 8 to 80 could enjoy.
We actually saw it together with my stepfather, and my father-in-law.
Yeah, we sure did.
One of the fathers thought we were going to see the real Black Panthers from the 60s, the documentary, and he had a beret on and everything.
I think it was the buildup of, before we got to the theater, of seeing so much on social media, so many people were excited, and it was almost like a national holiday.
Their only image of what a Black person is, or a Latino person is, or a Muslim person is what they see on television or what some other bigoted person told them.
Now more than ever, the illusions of division threaten our very existence.
Black Panther instilled within us a seed. Start doing something to empower yourself. And I think, it did that communally at large, not just for Black Americans. And now people are, especially Americans, are reaching out a lot more to learn those things and rid themselves of this ignorance.
Black Panther ushered in and opened a gate. I feel like over time, we'll see more Chinese American superheroes, Indian American superheroes, Native American superheroes, that not the ones that we already kind of know now, but new ones being made or ones kind of brought to the forefront.